Hello everybody, my name is FX and we are playing Factorio. So, a lot of things that happened in my base since the last video. One big change or one big addition are a few mods. As you can see, I do have warehouses and they did came with the mod warehousing. And it's pretty straightforward. You get some tech to research, and you will get the two warehouses I have now, plus the warehouses for the robots. They are priced very well, and so far I like them. The reason why I did install them was this little build up here. I did start to use randomize. I will show you later why. And randomize is outputting 7 different things, and this was quite a hassle to deal with because I had set up some vanilla chests, but yeah, it was just pure madness to deal with it. And I'm used to the warehouses from other place, and I really like them, and it's way simpler to deal with such things. Also, I added some other mods. If one of you watched the if you watched the last episode, you might have wondered why I did not build a steel axe. The answer to that is pretty simple. I forgot about it. But I was looking at the mod homepage from DP77, who is the author of the DP77 mods, and he had also some other mods there. I'm not entirely sure if these mods are actually meant to be part of his mod pack, but I did look or read through some of them, and I decided to install them. So one of these mods is actually better access. So better access is pretty simple. He is adding 5 more tiers of steel axes. They are pretty damn fast. I have currently an MK2 or 3, yeah, an MK3, and well, let's say this axe is mining pretty quick already, and the MK5 version is almost twice as fast. But it does cost, so you see it always requires the previous tiers, and they already required in circuits and stuff, so they are pricey. Another mod is called more armors, and this does add 5 versions of the of the power armor, and they really do cost a lot. But if you look, you have an inventory size bonus of 60 and an equipment grid size of 1515. So if you look at the vanilla version of the no, this is yeah, I believe this is the vanilla version, the first one, and this gives you inventory size of 30 and a 1212 grid, so you gain quite some inventory space plus additional grid size. The next thing was more exoskeletons, if I could spell right. Again, it adds 5 tiers of exoskeletons. They are really expensive, and I mean, I didn't show the research on these things. They are also so if you look, it's not that fast to research them, so you don't get the super quick or something. So I do believe they are balanced, at least that's what it looks like to me. As it is for the speed, so you see you have a movement bonus of 270%. The vanilla one has 30%, so wow, that's huge. And I'm curious, I'm looking forward to get this exoskeleton. I might though think maybe it will be too fast, because going fast is great, but at some point you go too fast and then it's kind of gets annoying because you do never end up where you want to end up. But we will see about that. I will definitely go for it and test it out. We have fusion reactors. Again, he's adding more fusion reactors. There we have 6 tiers. And the last one is producing 2.3 megawatts. You also see the research time takes 1000 seconds and it requires 1500 packs from every kind. To have the comparison, the vanilla gives you 750 kilowatts and this gives you 2.3 megawatts. So that's quite an improvement. But again, they are also quite pricey. They require tons of speed modules and always, of course, the previous tiers. And yeah, but again, I'm looking forward to play with this and see how it behaves. And the last mod I installed is also from Diego. It's called Personal Roboport MK3, but it does actually add 5 roboports. And the cool thing is this one allows you to control 200 robots instead of the, I believe, 25 from vanilla. Yeah, so that's quite nice, because I think it's bigger though. So dimension 2x2 is the vanilla one and this is 4x4, so the dimension is a little bit bigger, but you do get a lot of more robots to control with it. So I guess it's nice and fine, and we will see. All of this tech is at the moment far away, but I am looking very much forward to make use of it. So what happened? So the reason why I did have to build so much stuff was my power. If you look, my coal is almost depleted, and I'd say I did not start to panic, but I was starting to go down around my base here a little bit and then just go into one direction and search for coal, and did search longer and did search longer until I find one patch of coal here, but I didn't find a lot of other resources. And I was like, okay, where are stuff like iron, which you need a lot, and copper, which is also pretty much needed? So I started to go, and I mean, you can see I did go all the way back here, and that wasn't because I wanted to go that far. That was because I did try to go back to my base and I couldn't. There was water everywhere, and you see, I actually had landfill and did build this path to actually come back to my base once I was here. And that was really a little bit of an aha moment, because when I started this base I did not look at the settings at all. I was like, yeah, I want to try out this mod. I do not want to fiddle around with the vanilla settings. So this is default setting when you choose Railworld, and this is what vanilla is giving me. Also, you see there are tons and tons of cliffs everywhere, and I also started to go into this direction because this was the only coal patch. So in this whole area here I found this one coal patch, which was rather concerning. And I also did go up here and did not find any coal. Then I got lucky and found coal here, one small patch of 1 million. And I did go further up. Here finally 23 millions of gold, and here another 5.6 million. But yeah, I did walk around a lot. I did actually run out of coal, so my power was going down, and that was, my power was very close to go down. I actually had to prioritize this belt to cut off the smelter and keep producing power here. and that was the reason why I started the randomite. But then I had to discover a nice thing of the mod. You cannot simply mine randomite, you need quicksilver for it. And this is where this little build comes in. So quicksilver, you get quicksilver ore when you split cinnabar. And the thing is, you not only get quicksilver ore, you also get raw sulfur. So I had to deal with the raw sulfur and the quicksilver ore, and this thing gives you also then 10 stone, which I honestly appreciate at this moment, because again, look at the amount of water here. I need tons of landfill, so all of the stone I get here is directly crafted to landfill. And here I finally got the quicksilver, but I also needed to take care of the sulfur, because you can see it's already back, so there's already a lot there. Speaking of the sulfur, this mod completely changes the way you get sulfuric acid. So you don't get sulfuric acid out of oil anymore. You actually have to get raw sulfur, which you get either from splitting cinnabar, or I did find it on the map, so there are also patches of raw sulfur which can be mined. And the raw sulfur needs to go into an assembler with water and is crafted to sulfur, and there it goes to the way we know, which is this one, which simply is sulfuric acid once you add iron and water to it. So this was my little build-up I had, and I only did it because I needed more coal, which I did hope to get from the randomite. Also, I found out another thing, which is what the quarries are used for. So I didn't find any recipes I could craft in quarries, or any recipes where the quarries are used. The reason is the quarries do provide you with ore. So I guess the idea is they do really mine very, very deep and get the ore out you choose. It does work pretty simple. You can just click on the query and say which ore you want, and the query simply starts mining this ore. The thing is, I mean, this one is producing coal. I don't think that's a good way. I didn't check out the values, how much energy it eats and how much energy I actually get out of the coal it produces. I don't think that this is a good way, but yeah, I was kind of running out of coal and not thinking straight. And I will definitely test this. So let's say to get a huge amount of iron without even tapping into mines or something like this, I want to know how this works. I already did include it into a build, so you can see I have the cliff explosives set up, and instead of getting a coal belt up here for the explosives, I just placed two quarries and feed coal in this way, and this works really nice. So I really like this. So if I do need raw stuff, this is, to me, it looks like a really good option. I really enjoyed. I appreciate this. Also, you see, since I was running out of coal, I immediately started setting up solar cells. I didn't place them though, but they're already here. And in one of the next episodes, I will definitely switch to solar power. Here you see the setup for the warehouses. Here I have a simple setup for the quarries, and here I already automated my trains. And because, as you have seen on my map, the coal is brought in with trains, and I also tapped into the iron because my iron here is gone. So there is no iron left. I mean, oh, there it is. But there's a little bit of iron left, but it's, yeah, it's nothing basically. Yeah, so for the train setup, I did set up barrels. I want to barrel up everything in this playthrough. I want to try it, and I'm also not a big fan of running pipes everywhere. So you see, I do use circuits here. I want to switch to LTN at some point, but this requires red circuits. Yeah, this requires the red circuits, which I don't have at the moment. So I kinda mimic LTN. So I have my train depot here. Also, you see here the quarries. I did not bring in coal or something to fill up the trains. The quarries are more than enough. I have a small storehouse here which backs up, which collects some coal, and that's more than enough. And again, the quarries are perfect for such things. I really like this. And the way I did set this up is that I have here my oil, so all the way here, that was the next thing. The only oil I found was here, which wasn't really enough. Down here I have a bigger patch, but it's quite a distance, and I believe somewhere else here I also found a bigger patch, but I found this one, which two big patches next to each other, and I wanted to tap into this first. So the circuit setup is very simple. I check how many barrels I have in here, and if I drop below a certain threshold, I send a signal into the network which signals, hey, there is one station requesting barrels. If this station would be full, it would be disabled, so the train would not go to this location here. And here I check for the signals, so this station is disabled unless one station is requesting barrels, so the station will then be activated, but only if no station puts a barrel signal onto the network. So the barrel signal, currently there is no station set up, but when I get barrels filled with stuff and unbarrel them, I have empty barrels which I will put back onto the train bus. So to avoid overproducing empty barrels, the moment a train station says, hey, I have empty barrels, this station will not be enabled. The train has to go to the other station, and this will only output if no one else provides barrels. This is my safety measure to say I don't overproduce these things, because I really don't want production getting stuck because the barrels are not getting away. The train system itself, you might have noticed this doesn't look right at some point, but that was intentional because I will try something. My idea is to first get blue science and red circuits, research some more stuff. I forgot what it was. I wanted a few things, but in the end I will put everything into blocks like this. So the whole idea is to let the train bring stuff in. I produce 1 or 2 items here and put them back on the train bus. So in theory I should not have a belt bus. Everything is on the train bus, and the reason why I did it like this, I want to try if it works when I say every train can only turn right. Might sound silly, might sound crazy, I don't know. But by looking at it, this crossing already just from the signaling has way less signals than if the trains could really go left and switch lanes and everything. Of course, at the moment I needed to add these things because there is almost no grid, and the trains are running, for example, here where they can't go right because there is nothing. But these things will vanish over time, and I really want to try out this approach and see how it goes. I know I said in my previous episode that I do not plan on going to mega base level and big and stuff, but from what I have seen from the mod so far, I guess it's not really. So I think it is actually kind of happening anyway that you grow bigger, because you see there are a lot of new resources, and this is maybe half of it, not even half of it. So there are a lot more complex recipes and everything. There are actually 9 tiers of circuits and stuff, which means belting, it just grows bigger and bigger. So I decided, okay, I produce this, let's call it cells, and have everything on a train bus, and I wanna try to play this through like this. So which brings me basically to the end here. I wanna, let's say, a small announcement. Since you see I didn't really play in the video, I'm just explaining stuff, and that's actually not the way I wanted the videos. But the thing is, I'm new to this and I'm trying this out, and I just realized that I have a full-time job, and cutting videos and everything and setting these things up, it's taking way more time than I actually have. So the next video will be different. I will actually stream and put the stream on here, and I will try to stream, let's say, between 1 and 1.5 hours to not make them too long. But I believe it's a better way of showing what I do. It's also more interesting, I believe, you watching me, how I find out how the mod actually works and what are my thoughts on designs I came up with or stuff I build. So I really think that's a better way, and it's more economic for me, because I can spend 1 to 1.5 hours and not the, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours I need to prepare for these videos. This is simply too much time for me at the moment. So this said, this is the end of this video. In the next video I am planning to start with plastic and gold, because that's needed for the circuits, and I hope you will come and watch again. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, and yeah, see you next time. Stay awesome.